clusters at schools and their sports teams are emerging. Russia approved a vaccine that has yet to complete clinical trials, and its announcement raises fears that the country is rushing for political purposes. The White House announced a deal with drugmaker Moderna to manufacture 100 million doses of its coronavirus vaccine candidate for $1.5 billion. The vaccine is one of a few to have entered the final stages of testing. Governor Greg Abbott, meeting with leaders in Texas's sprawling Gulf Coast region to discuss his COVID-19 strategy, strongly suggested Tuesday that hospitalizations and cases from the virus remained far too high to allow a swift relaxation of business closures and other restrictions. The Republican governor, who traveled to Beaumont and Victoria, cited signs of progress but indicated Texas still had a long way to go in overcoming a relentless surge that made it one of the nation's leading hotspots in the pandemic. For the past week, Texas added an average of about 7,560 cases per day, compared to a peak 7-day average of over 10,000 cases per day in mid-July. Mr. Abbott has set a 10% positive test rate as a fundamental goal in countering the coronavirus. Positive rates should be at or below 5% for at least 14 days before a state or country can safely reopen, according to the World Health Organization. And despite a falling rate of hospitalization, 7,200 now, down from a late July high of around 11,000, according to the Texas Department of State Health Services, hospitals remained overburdened, Mr. Abbott said at a news conference during his first stop at Beaumont. The most important thing I can convey today is that even though the numbers of COVID-19 have improved, he said, COVID-19 has not left Jefferson County, has not left Orange County, has not left the state of Texas. The two cities are about 4 hours apart but each sits about 30 miles from the Gulf Coast, which stretches for about 600 miles along Texas's meandering shoreline. A downturn in COVID measurements in the Beaumont region, the governor said, suggests that the numbers are moving in the right direction. During briefings at both stops, the governor and local officials discussed state aid in the COVID-19 fight, upcoming school openings and Governor Abbott's layered implementation of restrictions that have included mandatory face masks as well as widespread business closures that have prompted an outcry from conservatives in his own party. Although Mr. Abbott said he understood the hardships faced by those struggling to pay the rent, to put food on the table, he strongly signaled that he planned to stay the course with his current policies until the pandemic was solidly under control, noting that the virus began to surge after an initial round of reopenings. We have to be vigilant right now to be sure that we continue to slow the spread of COVID-19, Mr. Abbott said.